this lesson, we are going to cover the issue of stage fright. Defined as the nervousness before or during an appearance before an audience. And many people, especially first-time speakers, have an issue with stage fright. So let me ask you, why are you so nervous? Common answers I receive from students: I don't know what I'm doing. I feel that my audience members are judging me. I'm not an expert at anything. Of course, the most common answer I receive: I'm afraid I'll forget everything I want to say. Or, what if I don't say enough? What if they don't like me? If you've ever had these thoughts about public speaking, believe me, you're not alone. Now let's look at stage fright. If you don't face it and you don't learn how to control it, you will become one of those boring, ineffective presenters. I'm sure you've all seen a briefer before that put you to sleep before they even introduced themselves. This class is going to help you to overcome those issues. I'm going to help you conquer that fear of public speaking. And because of this, not only will you be able to be a great presenter, but it will open up so many great career opportunities for you as well. First of all, you need to address any negative perceptions you have towards public speaking. Go ahead, write them down. As you uncover the deeper fears that you have for public speaking, you're going to have to admit that you have some vulnerabilities. And these vulnerabilities could be considered less than perfect. And you know what? That's okay. Because honestly, audience members don't like perfect people. We don't. We like flawed individuals because we ourselves are flawed. I'm not going to teach you how to become a perfect speaker. I will teach you how to become your perfect speaker. In order to become a public speaker myself, I had to first admit to myself that I have a speech impediment and that it could really hold me back in the field. But being flawed like this makes it easier for my audience members to relate to me. It makes it easier for my students to learn from me. Because yes, not only have I had to deal with fear, but I've had to deal with the fact that for a majority of my life, it was very difficult for me to even pronounce words, or even to pronounce half the English alphabet. So when I tell you that I have conquered those fears, you know for a fact that I have struggled in this field, and I overcame in this field. And so I can help you to overcome these fears as well. But before I can stand up and tell you how perfect of a speaker I can help make you, I have to first admit my vulnerabilities. I have to tell you how imperfect of a speaker I am in order for you to see how far I can bring you as well. Now here are some tips on how to reduce stage fright. Best tip is to shift the focus from you and your fears to the actual reason as to why you're giving the speech. And no, it's not so you can get a good grade. It's so that you can bring something of value to your audience members. Focus on them and what it is that you can do to impact their lives in a positive way. 2, stop scaring yourself. If you keep telling yourself that you're a bad public speaker, that your audience members don't like you, that you're going to forget what you want to say, then that's exactly what you're going to do. Instead, focus that attention on positive thoughts, on calming and reassuring techniques. If you calm those nerves before you start speaking, you'll have less adrenaline to fight against. 3. Refuse to think thoughts that create the self-doubt and the low confidence. Again, focus on positive aspects of you and positive aspects of what it is that you will be bringing to the table. 4. Practice ways to calm and relax your mind and body. Some people find the deep breathing technique to be relaxing. Others too would look for relaxation exercises, yoga, or meditation prior to class. Find what helps to relax and calm you, and put that into practice before your speech night. 5. With all things in life, a healthy lifestyle, habits, and balance will really help you along in this class. If you tend to be a nervous speaker, it would be best to not have caffeine, sugar, or alcohol before coming to class to give your speech. Caffeine and the sugar will only help to heighten the adrenaline, and the alcohol, although it may relax you, it will also relax you too much, and you won't be able to make it through your speech fully in a clear head. 6. Visualize your success. Always focus on your strengths and ability to handle challenging situations. Again, focus on the positive and stop stressing about the negative. 7. This will be your biggest tip to overcome everything, which is to prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Prepare well in advance, and then if you have any material such as a PowerPoint, prepare and practice out loud so that way you can hear your voice during that presentation. 8. Connect with your audience. Simply by smiling at the people in the audience, you can then tell yourself that they are your friends, and when they smile back, they'll reaffirm that for you. Think of your audience members as friends rather than enemies. Make sure that you sit or stand in a self-assured, confident posture. Also, when presenting, remain warm and open, and make sure that you create lasting eye contact. 10. Give up trying to be perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes. It's natural. It's to be expected. Just do your very best and be natural and be yourself. So now let's talk about stage fright. We're going to go behind the science to stage fright. Stage fright, of course, is fear. And the fear portion of your brain is actually linked to memory and decision making. Also, in the same area of the brain is where your fight or flight thinking is located. So without getting too deep into science, let's take a look and see how this affects our bodies. So it's almost your turn to speak. You've now told your brain that something scary is about to happen. And a little center portion of your brain receives that message, and it says, oh, something scary? I don't know about this something scary. And that portion of your brain tells the stem of your brain, hey guys, something scary is about to happen, so we need to get ready for scary. Then that gland takes that same message down to your kidneys, down to the adrenal glands. And this is where your body will produce and release adrenaline. Now that the adrenaline is pumping through your system, it affects first your neck and your back muscles. Because fight or flight, in either situation, you don't need to be standing straight. If you're fighting, you're getting ready to duck and fight your way out of the scary situation. If you're getting ready for flight, you're getting ready to run, and slouching is best for that. But the funny thing is that your brain cannot tell the difference between public speaking and an actual life-threatening situation. All it knows is that you're scared, so it's going to react accordingly. Now, if you're aware of the slouching, you try to resist this, and you pull your shoulders back, and you lift your head up, but now your legs and your hands start to shake because you've now pushed that adrenaline out into your limbs. At this point, your blood pressure increases, and your digestive system will actually shut down to maximize the delivery of even more nutrients and oxygen to your vital organs. When this occurs, this is when speakers feel the dry mouth or the butterflies, because that's your digestive system shutting down. Now let's look at your eyes. They're dilated, which now makes it harder for you to read anything up close, like presenter notes. But now, because your eyes are dilated, it actually improves your long-range visibility. Reason is if you are in flight mode, you need to be able to see further ahead so you can run away. But, as we said, your brain does not recognize that this is just a speech. Now your eyes being dilated makes you more aware of your audience members' facial expressions. And all of this happens within a split second. So now we've talked about the science behind stage fright and why everybody, no matter how experienced of a speaker they are, will still experience stage fright. Now let's talk about what separates beginning speakers from advanced speakers. And that's the fact that advanced speakers know how to control stage fright. First thing, you must prepare. The more prepared you are, the more confident you are. So begin preparing your speeches as soon as you know that they will be due. Make your speeches lively. If you throw in stories and a few one-liner jokes, this not only helps you to remember your speech in order, but it also helps you to relax, and your audience members will relate to you more. 2, put it in perspective. Keep in mind, this is just a speech. Don't expect it to be perfect. The world is not going to end if you give a bad speech. You will not fail this course if you give a bad speech. The purpose of this class is for you to improve on those skills. Make those mistakes here versus out there when your career could be on the line or when you're interviewing for that dream job. Make the mistakes here and learn here. 3, think about the symptoms of stage fright. Stomach's upset, hands are sweating, heart's racing, butterflies are flying everywhere. Can you see any of this? No. So your audience members can't see that you're nervous. Be sure that you don't tell them you're nervous as well. 4. Believe it or not, your audience members are friendly. Think about it. When you're an audience member, do you sit in the seat and say, wow, I hope that person fails? Of course not. First of all, if you're the audience member, you're happy that you're not the speaker. Second of all, as an audience member, all you want is to either learn something new or be entertained. Your number one goal as an audience member isn't to judge someone. So when you're the speaker, keep this in mind. Your audience members aren't there to judge you. 5. Forget about making a great first impression. Because when you're focused on making a good first impression, who are you focused on? Yourself. And when you're focused on yourself, you're not focused on the audience. Keep in mind that you are there for them. 6. The trump card. This is actually a bridge term, and it simply means that only you know what you intended to say. Audience has no idea. I had a student once come up to me after his speech, very scared of his grade. It's like, oh, I forgot to say this, and I had a story about this, and I messed up this part of my speech, and I got 2 points crisscrossed, and I know I failed because it wasn't what I practiced. To be honest, he received an A+ on that speech. Why? Because the speech he delivered was great. I didn't have to know what he missed. All I grade is what I hear. And I heard a great speech. So keep in mind that only you know what you intended to say. And most of the time, you are your worst critic. My last advice is for you to visualize. Visualize the speech going well. The night before your speech, sit down, close your eyes, picture the room. Now look at the audience members' faces. You're standing there giving your speech, and they're laughing and nodding with you. They're smiling. Visualize the room. How's it set up? When you visualize your speech going well, you're doing positive reinforcement. And when you can do that, you can deliver a great speech. That covers all of our tips about stage fright and how to overcome stage fright.